Hey everyone, and welcome to a mat with towel. We're going to be doing a 50-minute Pilates mat workout today with our towel. Today we're going to start standing. So when you're ready, grab your towel and meet me on the mat. All right, so you're going to want to fold your towel up in a nice, long, thin strip that you can hold on comfortably with your hands. So if it's too thick, it might be harder to grasp. So just roll it up. Stand with your feet about hips distance apart and parallel with each other. And we're going to start with our hands down by our sides and the towel about at our thighs. As you start squatting down, reach those arms up. You want to bring the towel in your hands up to about shoulder height and then press through your legs to stand back tall. Squat down, lift the arms, press up to tall. Keep going. Now, as you're squatting, I want you to try to get down further and further each time. But pay attention to your low back. We don't want to over arc in that low back curve. So this will be a lot of balance. As you go down and down and down, it's going to be a lot of leg work and a lot of belly work to support your spine through this movement. Good. Try a little bit further down. 2 more like this. Good, up to standing. Now our starting place will be with the towel out in front of us. As we squat down, our arms are going up towards the ceiling. As you're lifting that towel up, keep those shoulders away from your ears. A few more. Last one. Stand up tall, take your feet wide, and turn out from the hips. So we have that external rotation. All right, towel back to your thighs. As you squat down, lift the towel up just to about shoulder height and back up to standing. And you can gently pull on the towel, have a nice consistent pull on it the whole time. See if you can go down a little bit further and make those inner thighs work a little harder as you're standing up. And last one like this. Okay, so now our starting point is here in front of us. As we squat down, arms lift up. Few more. Watch that low back curve. Make sure those belly muscles are scooping up and in, keeping your back supported. 2 more. Last one. Good. Come on up to standing. Roll out your shoulders. Wiggle out your legs. And then come on down to your mat. So we want to fold the towel up in a nice little package. So a nice thick rectangle that we can squeeze between the knees. So when you lay down, take the towel, just place it in between the knees or upper thighs. And we're gonna have a nice gentle squeeze on it the whole time. So our legs are probably a little bit closer than usual, and that's okay. But just make sure that you're squeezing the towel the whole time. Arms up high towards the ceiling. And then exhale, reach your arms behind your head, up towards the top of your mat. Arms to your side. And exhale, reach those arms up towards the top of your mat. As you're reaching, keep that rib cage down. Keep those inner thighs engaged. And on this next one, when your arms are reaching back behind you, take your hands behind your head. Open your elbows wide. As you exhale, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. You're maintaining that squeeze of the towel. and release, and lift, and release. Let's take a few of these nice and slow so you can really find the length in the back of your head, the engagement in those upper abdominals, the heaviness in your tailbone, and the engagement in your inner thighs. And then we can start going a little bit faster. And now let's take it into a twist. So the right shoulder is going to reach up and over towards the left hip. You're still squeezing the towel evenly with those inner thighs. Come on down, up and over to the other side. Keep those elbows open. Keep that opposite hip heavy as you're twisting to the other side. And just one more each side. Good, and bring your head, neck, and shoulders down to the floor. Take your towel out from between your knees, and we're gonna fold it up into that long, skinny strip again that you can grip. And reach it up high towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades on the mat, back of the rib cage on the mat, tailbone on the mat. And then drop your arms to the right and your knees to the left. And just sink into that stretch for a moment or two. And then both arms are going to pull on the towel, but the left arm is going to win out. The left arm is going to win the tug of war. Also reach through your right hip to bring everything back to center and drop to the two opposite sides. Reach through that left hip, pull through those arms a little bit more with that right arm. Everything back to center and drop. And lift it up. And keep going. Let those legs be heavy. One more time each side. And come all the way back up to stop. Reach behind your head, place your towel down, and then bring your arms to your side. And let's have palms up today. Feet should be about parallel with each other and about hips distance apart, so a little bit wider than when we were squeezing the towel. So we're more back to a neutral position with the legs. As you exhale, rock the pelvis towards you. Feel that low back press into the mat and super scoop that belly to start rolling up your spine into the bridge. Get those hips nice and high. Inhale at the top and then slowly melt it down, trying to lengthen through that spine more and more. Trying to land your tailbone a little bit closer to the other end of your mat, so a little closer to the bottom edge. Exhale, super scoop that belly, lift off, hips up nice and high. Try to keep those hips as high up for as long as you can. As you start rolling down, resist the pelvis coming down. On this next bridge, stay up. Tip your hips to the right, so that right hip's gonna go down towards the floor as that left hip tips up a little bit, and then come back to center and switch. Tip to the left, back to center and switch. Try to keep this movement just in the pelvis. In other words, try to keep even weight in your feet, even weight in your shoulders. Try a few more. And then find your nice high center bridge, slowly roll it down. Scoot your feet in towards your sits bones a little bit more. So they're nice, they're closer than usual. Exhale, roll up into your bridge, and then lift your heels up, place your heels down, lift your toes up, lift your heels up, lift your toes up. Keep those hips high, keep those knees reaching forward. Few more switches. And last one. Both feet on the floor, roll down. All the way till you can find that nice heavy tailbone and the light low back. Pick your right leg up to tabletop and then your left. Already, you should feel those low belly muscles kick on and the weight evenly distributed throughout your sacrum. And then exhale, reach that right leg out as far as you can. Tap the floor, pull that leg back up to tabletop. Or reach your left leg out, tap the floor, pull it back to tabletop. So it gets harder and harder as you reach that leg longer. Harder on the belly muscles to support neutral. Keep going. One more each side like this. And come back to your tabletop position. Scoot that belly, rock your pelvis towards you. Feeling that low back, press into the mat and release it. And exhale, rock that pelvis towards you. Lots of low belly work here and release. And again, exhale, rock it towards you. Release one more time, rock that pelvis towards you. And release to a neutral position. Take both hands to your right knee. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders up. We're going to maintain neutral here. Lengthen your left leg out long. And switch. And switch. So you want to keep that tailbone heavy, low back light. Reach the straight leg long. Pull the bent knee in. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch it. Hold it on this side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands behind your head. Pedal your bike, keeping the pelvis still. No wiggling, no wobbling. Nice, smooth movement in those hip joints. Reverse it. And then taking it into crisscross, your right shoulder is going to reach towards your left hip, right leg straight, and switch, and switch. Elbows stay open. The twist is coming from your torso, not your head, neck, or shoulders. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch it, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull your knees deep into your chest and take in some nice deep breaths. You can rock side to side. You can rock your head side to side too. And then place your feet wide on the mat. Drop your left knee in towards your midline, getting that stretch in the front of your left hip. And if you want to go deeper into the stretch, take your right foot on top of your knee and then just gently press it down. And then let that left knee go, right knee down. And if you want to go in deeper, left foot can come on top of that knee. Good, and then bring that leg back up. Lengthen both legs out nice and long, and then reach behind you. Your towel should be there. If you need the towel behind your back for the roll up, you can have it behind your back. If not, hold it in your hands. Arms are nice and long, shoulders are in place, legs are active. As you exhale, gently pull on the towel with both arms and start rolling up. Peel your spine up all the way to a nice tall spine, and then dive up and over your legs, reaching the towel towards your feet or even beyond. Stack it up nice and tall. Keep pulling on that towel. Pull with your upper arms, not your hands. Slowly roll it down. Reach those arms up overhead. Rib cage stays anchored to the ground, and exhale. Let's go again. Start rolling up. Dive up and over. Sit up tall, roll it back down. Keep going at your own pace. We'll do about 2 or 3 more of these. And whichever one you're on now, you can finish up, and we're going to end sitting. So if you're done, just stretch out your neck a little bit, roll it back and forth while we wait for everyone to catch up. And then we're going to scoot forward to the end of our mat, heels anchored to the ground. Keep those heels glued in place. Arms out nice and long in front of you, shoulders down your back. As you exhale, scoop through your belly and roll back as if you're going to roll down, but we're going to stop right about in the low back area. Stay nice and stable through the spine. Reach the arms up and bring them down so they're eye level. So the towel's eye level. And lift up. Bring the towel down. Keep pulling on that towel with both arms. Two more here. Use those belly muscles to roll the spine back up to sitting. Now we're going to go down again. Ready? Exhale, roll it back. You can try going back a little bit further this time, keeping the torso nice and still. Go ahead and reach those arms and down. Reach those arms up, bring them down. 2 more here. Roll it on up. All right, we're going to roll down again. This time, though, we're twisting towards our right. So I want you to try to bring your right hand towards the floor, and the towel stays in both hands. You're pulling on it with both hands, and then come back to center and twist towards your left, trying to bring your left hand down towards the floor. Bring it back to center and back to the right and back to the left. Up to center, use those belly muscles to roll yourself up. And we're gonna go again. Now, as you're twisting side to side, watch the legs. Try not to let them twist with you. Those should be staying stable in center. All right, roll it down. And twist. And center. And twist. Center, twist to the first side. And to the second. Let's add 1 more round, first side. And last twist. Scoop and roll it up. Loop the towel around your feet. And then use that towel to assist you in a nice hamstring and back stretch. So you're just pulling on the towel, pulling yourself forward over your lap. And go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Hold the towel in your hands, and your arms are going to be probably a little bit wider than shoulders distance apart. Twist towards your right, pulling the towel with you as you press it away from you with your left hand. And then come back to center and twist. And center. Get a nice deep twist through that spine. One more each side. Good, and release, put the towel down and just roll out the shoulders a few times. And come on to your right forearm. So your shoulders should be right over your elbow. Legs are gonna be nice and long underneath you. Super flex those feet. Left arm is gonna swoop up towards the ceiling and the hips will lift right along with it. And then swoop down and lift up and come down. Keep this right arm really strong and stable for you. Keep the shoulder away from the ear. Two more. And we're gonna hold the last one up there. Keep flexing those feet. Hips up, 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 up. Arms strong. Two more breaths. Last one. And come on down. Grab your towel, fold it up so it's in that nice little thick rectangle like we had it back in the beginning with our bridge or with our chest lifts. We're gonna squeeze it between the knees again. You lay down on your right side with your right arm cradling your head. And the bottom half of your body is gonna stay stacked and still. So everything, right hip is on top of the, left hip is on top of the right hip, left knee on top of the right knee, left ankle on top of the right ankle, left arm up, and twist open back behind you. Try as best you can to get lots and lots of rotation without letting that left hip follow. And let's twist forward, bringing the hand all the way down to the floor. And open up, reach back. Think about that left side of your rib cage. I want you to pull that left side of your rib cage back up in alignment with your left hip. Rotate forward. Open back, squeeze that towel. That's going to help keep those knees and hips and ankles all stacked. Now rotate forward. One last time, rotate back. And rotate forward. Good, you can take that towel out from underneath your knees and you can either put it off to the side or use it as a little prop underneath your head for the side series. So we're gonna be laid nice and long, balancing on our right side. So once again, those hips, knees, and ankles should be stacked. Reach the top leg longer than you think possible and then lift it up to about hip height, maybe a little higher. Lift it up, press it down. So you have to use your imagination a little bit. Lift up, press down. Imagine you're pressing against a pump or a ball or something a little bit squishy. You're always looking for the length before the lift, each and every time. All right, keep your bottom hip, that's the right hip. Keep that heavy, keep your bottom waistline nice and light on the floor. Lift that leg up, flex your foot, swing your leg forward, swing your leg back. We can keep the foot flexed the whole time. Swing forward, swing back. So you'll really need to find those core muscles to keep your body balanced in the side lying position. Press back a little bit further. See how far back you can go without losing the balance in the upper half of your body. And hold that point, the furthest point you can go. Point your toes. That's going to be the back side of your circle. Circle that leg forward and around. And then reach back to that back side that we just found. And around. Trying to get that leg back as far as we can without letting this top hip roll backwards. Reverse. Same thing. Keep reaching to the back side of that circle. And then take this leg into the bicycle. So we're getting a lot more movement in that hip joint. We're not just going up and down or forward or back anymore. So it's way harder to stay balanced. Try to keep the hip, knee, and ankle all at the same height the whole time. And reverse. A few more. And next time that leg is coming around the front, you can place it on the floor. You can have either your knee on the floor or your foot on the floor, whichever position feels a little bit more comfortable, but also allows you to keep those hips stacked as best you can. All right, bottom inner thigh, lift up, release it down. Lift it up, release it down. Now pay attention to the right waistline. You want to keep it light. It shouldn't be pressing into the mat and then moving away from the mat. Staying light, you're staying heavy in the bottom hip. Keep lifting that right leg from the inner thigh. Belly muscle should engage as you're lifting it up. And now lift that inner thigh up. Hold that leg still as a statue for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 quick lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Point those bottom toes. You have 10 circles each direction. I'm going to let you count your own. Focus on making them nice and smooth. The same size, each and every one. And once you're done with all 10 circles in each direction, go ahead and lower that leg down. Take your top leg and you're going to place your foot on sort of the inside of that right heel. Hips still want to stay stacked. Lower that knee down towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch. If you can touch the floor without your hips rolling forward, that's fine. But don't worry so much about that. Just keep those hips stacked. Lower the leg down and then lift it up. This is a version of the clam. We're working those external rotators on the left side, deep down underneath those glute muscles. This clam is a little bit harder than usual because we have to stay balanced on that right side. We don't have our bent lower leg helping us. And remember, let that leg bone, your femur bone, be super heavy. The lift is coming from underneath those glutes. On this next one, open that left knee up towards the ceiling and stop there. Hold it there. Keep the length in your waistlines. Lift your bottom leg up. Release it down. Lift it up, lifting from the inner thigh, just like you did before. Keep it up. Stay light in your right waistline. Heavy in your right hip. Three more. And release. Take that top leg, reach it diagonally behind you. And then you can take your top arm and reach it diagonally in front of you. And try your best to just soften into that stretch. You're going to feel it wherever you need it. All right, roll to your back and place your head on the towel for the number 4 stretch. So left ankle over the right knee. And I'm going to give you some options today. You can keep your right foot on the floor and just use your hand to sort of press the left leg open towards the bottom of your mat. So you can get a good stretch there. You can do the traditional number 4 where we hold on to the back of that right thigh and bring that leg towards you. Or you can do the collapsed number 4 where you bring your left foot down to your side and hang out there. So I'll give you a few moments to do any or a combination of those. We're trying to get that stretch in the back of the left hip. Focus on your breathing. Nice long inhales and exhales. And then start finishing up this stretch. We're going to roll over to the left side. Ooh, my towel's a mess. You can take this time to fold your towel up nicely if you'd like. All right, so towel nearby, but out of the way for the side lift. We're going to be down on the left elbow. That left arm is super, super strong. We don't want to collapse into this left shoulder. All right, legs out nice and long underneath you. Super flex those feet. Swoop the right arm up towards the ceiling. Let your hips follow. And control it down and up. And control it down. Straight up, straight down. Try to prevent any wiggling forward or back. On this next one, we're going to hold it up there for a couple nice, big, deep, strong breaths. You can do it just a little bit longer. And then come on down. All right, let's see. Take your towel and you can cradle it for your head. Lengthen those legs out long underneath you. You know what we forgot? I forgot this one. Take the towel between your knees. Right arm up high towards the ceiling, and we're going to rotate backwards, keeping those knees stacked. And come forward, rotate all the way forward. And again, we're looking for that rotation in our upper spine, keeping the lower spine pretty neutral. See if you can open back just a little bit more. And last one, come forward. And back up to your side. Now you can take your towel underneath your head on your left side. Reach those legs nice and long. And even longer. And even a little bit longer. Take that top leg up to about hip height or just above and squeeze it down. Lift and squeeze. Stay heavy in that left hip, light in the left waistline. Relaxed in both shoulders. Remember to squeeze it down. All right, keep that leg level, so about at hip height. Flex your foot. You can keep your foot flexed the whole time. Swing forward, swing it back, focusing on the balance in your upper body. See how far back you can press that leg. Challenge yourself even more today. You can really slow it down if you need to. Press, press, press back. And then find the furthest point back you can go while still maintaining the stability in your upper body. Point your toes. That's going to be the back side of the circle, and circle that leg around. Then reverse it. And now we're moving into the bicycle. Remember, this is a little bit of a more complicated movement for the hip joint, so it's harder for everything to stay still where it needs to be. So that's when our muscles, our core muscles, have to work a little bit harder. And reverse it. And next time that knee is coming around the front, you can place the knee on the floor or your foot on the floor. You just want to try to keep those hips as stacked as possible. It might not be perfect in this position, but do the best you can. All right, lift that lower leg up and down. Lift it and lower it. Remember, we're lifting from the inner thigh, letting the foot just hang out at the end of our leg. And let's lift it up and hold it really still for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 controlled lifts, but quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 circles each direction. I'll let you count your own. Look for a nice, smooth shape. And then let that leg come down to the floor. Scoot your top foot up on top of your left knee. All right, find your balance first and then bring that right knee down towards the floor and then open it up using those external rotators. Remember, let the leg be heavy. See how open you can get that leg while still maintaining the stacked position of your hips. And then keep that leg nice and open in that position. Lift your bottom leg up and release it down. Lift it up, release it down. And still lift from the inner thigh. Last one. Take that top leg, reach it diagonally behind you. Take your top arm, reach it diagonally in front of you. Try to sink into that stretch as best you can. And then back onto your back, towel underneath your head. And any variation of the number 4 stretch you like. So left foot can stay on the floor, the left leg could pull in towards you. Or you can do the collapsed version where the right foot is down on the floor by your left side. And whichever position you choose, just settle into it. Focus in on your breath. Nice long inhales and exhales as long as you can make them. And start finishing up. Take your time rolling onto your belly with your towel, and I'll meet you there. All right. So once you get to your belly, you can rest your forehead either on the towel or on the backs of your hands. And I want you to just take in some nice deep breaths, paying attention to your body, what's touching the mat, what's not. Notice if there's any differences side to side. Notice if one leg is turned out more than the other, or what position the legs are in. And then I want you to try to bring everything to center so you're nice and even on the left and right sides. Those legs are active and right underneath you. Curl your right toes under. And then as you press it back with that right heel, your kneecap will lift up off the floor. And I just want you to find that engagement. Keep reaching the knee or the heel back. And then let the kneecap soften to the ground. Reach the heel back. Kneecap lifts. You're going to feel those quads engage. And knee to the floor. Reach the heel, kneecap lifts. And just try that a couple more times. One more. Uncurl your right toes, point them back, and curl your left toes under. Same thing, reach that heel back as further than you think possible. Lift that left knee off the floor, feel those left quad muscles engage, and release. Keep going. And last one. Good, and rest. Uncurl those left toes. All right, belly button up and in towards the spine to engage all those core muscles. They're going to help keep your low back protected. Press your hip creases into the floor. Lift your right leg up. We're keeping it straight. We're lifting from the hamstring. When we lift the leg, though, we want to maintain even weight in the pelvis, so no shifting to the other side. Lower that leg down. Nice and strong. Lift the left leg up. Lower it down. Lift from the hamstring, not the foot. Let the foot follow. And just keep alternating back and forth. And you can even alternate a little bit faster so your legs are constantly in motion. Like as one goes up, the other's coming down. And then right leg stays high. Left leg can be hovering over the floor or resting on the floor. Take that right leg out to the side, squeeze it in. Right leg out, squeeze it in underneath you. We're working those inner thigh muscles. Keep the belly button pulling up and the hip creases pressing down. Stay even in the left and right side of your hips. So you should feel those bones even on the floor. And then bring that right leg in underneath you. Either place it on the floor, let it just hover, lift the left leg higher.
And then out and in. And last one, bring that left leg underneath you. Let both legs rest on the floor. Wiggle them out. And then bring those legs nice and active underneath you again. Belly muscles in, hip creases down. Lift both legs up. Flex your feet, tap both heels together 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point your toes, tap together 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flex for 5. Point for 5. Flex for 5. Point for 5. Keep those legs up and those legs straight. Keep alternating between the flex and the point. Stick with me for one more round. And then rest those legs down. Great. Bring your hands underneath your forehead so you can scoot your towel out of the way. And belly muscles lift up and in. Hip creases press down. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat. And then as you inhale, as you exhale, come down. So we're going to inhale on the lift and exhale on the down. Keep the movement going. Control it down. And let's add in a twist. So this time as we lift, twist, peek underneath one elbow. Come down and go to the other side. Keep twisting side to side, trying to keep even weight in your lower body. No shifting left to right. Last one. And rest. Rock your head side to side, rock your hips side to side. And then come back to center. Bring your hands down by your side, right at your chest, palms down. Head's floating over the floor. And squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears, which we don't get to do a lot. But then roll your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Slide those shoulders down your back. Hug those elbows together. Press your hands into the floor. And lift up into straight arms. Keeping those belly muscles supporting the extension in your spine. I want you to bend your elbows, start lowering down. And as you do, your legs will lift. And as your legs come down, your arms will straighten. Keep rocking back and forth. Trying to maintain that nice, strong extension in your spine. One more time forward. One more time back. Bend your elbows and bring yourself back down to the mat. And press back into a child's pose with your knees wide. Arms stretched out long in front of you. Sink down between those hips. Keep the right side of your body anchored where it is and walk your hands to the left so you get a good stretch in that right side. And then same thing to the other side. Keep that left side nice and heavy in the mat. And arms back to center. Use those belly muscles to roll your spine back up to an upright position. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. It's always a pleasure to be with you and spend time on the mat with you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.